Welcome back to the Press for Wine Prince Lyrics podcast. I'm your host, Jason Brenninger. Apologies ahead of time if my voice sounds a little nasally. I've been fighting a bit of allergies and cold symptoms, and, show must go on, so I'm just going to power through it. Hopefully you guys won't notice, and if you do, apologies again. We are now up to episode 16 for the track Still Waiting. This is the 7th track on Prince's second album, Prince, and it was the third and final single released from the album. There's a song coming up right after this one on the track listing that is one of the most famous songs off of the album, but it was never officially released. So Still Waiting kind of took the place as the third and final single released after I Want to Be Your Lover and Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad. Both of those were pretty successful. I Want to Be Your Lover much more so than Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad. But in retrospect, they're both very popular songs amongst the Prince community. Still Waiting, though, has never really reached that status. Prince starts the song off with a little bit of a country western flair, just with the way that the music comes in, and it gives you kind of a feeling of a different type of track. It certainly isn't a dance song, but it's a little more upbeat than your typical ballad, so it's a bit different in that respect. It's still, I would say, probably a ballad if I had to categorize it. I'm not sure if that really matters. It's a nice song. It's a very pleasant song. I enjoy Still Waiting a bit more than maybe many people do. I'm not sure. So Still Waiting is another one of those sad sack, unlucky in love songs that Prince really focused a lot on these first couple of albums. It's similar in ways to So Blue in terms of theme and sound, and so going back, So Blue was a song off of Prince's first album, For You. It also is kind of buried in the middle of side 2, just like Still Waiting is, but unlike Still Waiting, So Blue was never released as a single. And in Still Waiting, as you can maybe take from the title, Prince is waiting on something. He's waiting on either a person or a thing or a feeling. As we'll go through the lyrics, we'll find out what he's waiting for. He's waiting for love. He's waiting for that special someone. He's waiting for that joyous feeling that a person gets when they are in love or when they meet somebody that they're very attracted to and want to be with. But for the sake of the song Still Waiting, he's on the outside looking in. He's looking at his friends' relationships, both past and present, and it's really making Prince feel alone. And I think that's probably pretty relatable, especially when you're younger and you have a core group of friends that maybe you've had for many years before puberty hit, or before the interest in the opposite sex started to peek in and start to infiltrate the friend group that you might have. And then all of a sudden your friends that you were real tight with for many years all of a sudden start dating people. If you're on the outside looking in and you're still single and you're wishing you could be in a relationship and you wish that you had what your friends were experiencing and the kind of closeness with somebody, romantic closeness with somebody that you're looking for, it can make you feel a little jealous, I think. And that's what Prince is trying to convey in this song, I feel. He comes across like he's missing out on life, missing out on love and happiness because he hasn't met the one. And this song is about him expressing his sadness and his frustrations with having to sit on the sidelines watching his friends go through the motions with their significant others. Basically, what I've already just said is how he kicks off the track lyrically. The first verse starts off with him singing, "All my friends tell me about the loves they've had. Can't they see what they're doing to me? It makes me feel so bad. I'm so alone and broken-hearted. It ain't like my life has ended, but more like it never started. The love my friends rap about, I keep anticipating. I try so hard, but don't you know my patience is fading away." So as I already mentioned before I started going through the lyrics, this is a song about him looking to his friends and seeing the kind of relationships that they're now in. And they're just telling Prince about, what it's like to be in a relationship, the ups and downs of having a significant other. And and Prince is looking at it a little selfishly, like, can't they see what they're doing to me? So I don't know if that's really the most healthy way to be a friend to somebody else. Like, quit telling me about your relationships. I don't want to hear it. You're killing me over here. I'm not in a relationship. I want to be in one. Can't you see that? That's essentially what he's saying here in the first section of the first verse. It makes him feel bad because his friends are telling him about the loves that they've had, and Prince's character in this song has never felt that. He has never experienced that, so he's frustrated that his friends just keep telling him, and I don't, they're probably just doing it because they're friends. They're not doing it to, like, I don't get a sense that they're telling him about their relationships because they know it's going to make Prince feel bad. Prince is just so despondent over the fact that he doesn't have anybody, or that he hasn't even ever experienced what they're experiencing, so he can't even be a friend back to them and either help them through it or just be happy for them. He can't get there. He just says it makes him feel so bad. Can't they see what they're doing to me? I'm so alone and brokenhearted. And then he says, I try so hard, but don't you know my patience is fading away. So maybe he's trying a little too hard. And I get the sense here that Prince is putting so much emphasis on being in a relationship in this song and finding that love that it's more like a single-minded focus on this. It's a bit of an obsession and maybe a little bit of an unhealthy one. I firmly believe if you come across desperate to be in a relationship, I think a lot of women and other men are going to look at that and they're going to see that desperation, kind of shy away. Why is it that you need to be with somebody to be happy? Can't you be happy on your own? Maybe what's going on with Prince is that he's trying too hard. And that line, I try so hard, but don't you know my patience is fading away. I get the sense that he's trying a little too hard to find love, and he needs to just relax and let love find him. And that's, I think, maybe a healthier way to look at it. Now, I'm not saying that he shouldn't put himself out there. You just have to live your life. And if your life means being a homebody and being a little antisocial, then yeah, it's going to be hard to find somebody. It's going to be hard to be in a relationship. So you might want to do a little more there. But if just living your life involves hanging out with your friends, or you're doing something with them and you just happen to meet somebody there that's completely separate from your own group, who knows? My point is that Prince is trying too hard. That's what I'm really getting at with that one. So the chorus to Still Waiting goes, I'm still waiting, waiting for the love. Still waiting, I wish on every star above. Still waiting, waiting for the love to come around. And while the lyrics in the chorus are pretty simple, what I like, what he's done here is he makes the lines, I'm still waiting. Those lines as they're sung, I'm still waiting, still waiting, it sounds like it's being sung by a female chorus. While the song is still sung in a higher register, either Prince's voice is pitched up for the still waiting, or he's just singing it even higher register than he is in the verses and the rest of the chorus. Because to me it sounds like, like he brought in a female vocal to come and sing I'm still waiting, still waiting. And if you're not really paying attention, or if you don't know, how Prince did a lot of his multi-tracked vocals, especially, well, he's always done multi-tracked vocals, but especially early on when he was just writing, recording everything on his own, no band, you would think that that was a female singer that was brought in to sing those lines in the chorus. But it's not. It's just Prince in a different register, or singing a little higher or pitched higher to make it sound, I think, like a different singer has come in. Like he's got this female backing vocalist to help him out on the chorus. And I really like that, but it's obviously Prince. It's just, if you're not paying attention, you wouldn't necessarily pick that up right away. In the second verse, he says, "People say that I'm too young to fall in love. But they don't know, they really don't know that's all I've been dreaming of. I spend my nights just a-cryin', I spend my days just a-tryin' to find that love to all my own, 'cause I'm sick and tired of being alone." So right off the bat, he says that, maybe he's too young to fall in love, which is a little bit of a callback to the For You track, I'm Yours, where Prince was singing a song about being a virgin. Even though he says that he's ready in I'm Yours, he's saying that he's ready in Still Waiting too, at least at the start. Still Waiting starts off with him very confident that he's ready for love. He's ready to do this. And he's frustrated that it hasn't happened for him yet. So what people are trying to tell him in the second verse is that he's too young and he doesn't need to worry about it. I'm sure that has been something that older people tell younger people all the time. Like, don't rush into love. Don't rush into a relationship. You don't need to be in a serious relationship at age 19 or age 20. You got a lot of other things going on. You could just date, play the field, be single for a while. It's okay. Find out who you are first. But Prince is basically brushing that aside. Like, they say that I'm too young to fall in love, but they don't know. They don't know that that's what he's been dreaming of. And once it goes back a little bit to this obsession with being in a relationship. I spend my nights just a-crying. I spend my days just a-trying to find that love to call my own. Because I'm sick and tired of being alone. It's like, thanks for the advice, but I'm ready. I'm ready to date. I'm ready to get out there, be in a relationship, and find that love. So I appreciate you telling me that I'm still very young and I have plenty of time to figure this out, but when you're that age and you want something, it doesn't really matter what people tell you. You want what you want. And in this song, Prince's character wants to be in love. He's tired of being alone, tired of spending his days alone, nights alone. He's over it. He wants to find somebody, and he's trying really hard. At least that's the impression that you get from here listening to the song. Maybe a little too hard, as I mentioned, but trying really hard nevertheless. So after the second verse, he goes into the chorus again. He does something interesting for the kind of like the outro of the track. He starts to ad-lib. So the Still Waiting, as it's sung in the chorus, comes back in. I'm still waiting. And then Prince will ad-lib in there lines like, I need somebody to hold on to, baby. Waiting and waiting, don't you know? I'm still waiting. I'm waiting for the love, sugar. Still waiting. If you're out there, girl, please come to me. And he keeps going on like this until, as the song fades out, don't make me cry no more. If you're out there, baby, please come to me. Wishing and wishing for days, baby. And it's kind of an interesting way to end the song. They feel like ad-libs, but I'm sure he was thinking of things, that he wanted to do with the way this track ended. It's more of the same. He's essentially continues to say that he's waiting for love. He wants to find it. Don't make me cry. I'm tired of being alone. Come find me if you're out there, wishing and wishing. I need this love. It's Prince just being this super forlorn love seeker, and it makes you feel really bad for him. I mean, that's what the song is meant to give the listener, a sense of sadness for the character singing, and you feel empathy towards him for being so alone and such a sad sack. I don't know if he's unlucky in love or if he's just not finding the one. Like, I don't know if he's picky. Maybe he's had opportunities. But what the song is meant to do is it's meant to give the listener a little bit of an insight into the thought process of somebody who's lonely and sad and just wanting to find somebody to spend some time with, maybe spend the life with. It's not really, at this point, he's just wanting to be in a relationship. Doesn't mention anything about marriage, doesn't mention anything about family. It's just he wants to find love. And if that's, immediate love or long-term love, it's not really the point. The point is that he's lonely, he's sad, and he's frustrated that he can't find anybody. He feels like by now he should have somebody, all of his friends have somebody. Other people are telling him he's too young, doesn't matter. He wants it, he needs it, and he's looking for it. So that brings me to the end of Still Waiting. I like this song a lot. I've always liked it. I think because of the way the song sounds, especially at the very beginning, it's got that ding 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 ding, the little piano, and it has a very fun sound to it, even though the lyrics and the subject matter isn't fun. But it's such a pretty song the way it's sung, and you can sing along to it. And as far as ballads go, once again, I consider this probably a ballad. I enjoy Still Waiting more than With You, and even When We're Dancing Close and Slow. This is my favorite ballad, and I can see why it was chosen as a single, even though it didn't do anything on the charts. It wasn't successful as a single. Bambi would have been a nice choice, but maybe even back in 1979, the record label might have thought that the lyrical content would have been a little too much. I Feel For You probably made more sense as a single. Not sure why that wasn't chosen. I think probably Still Waiting was chosen because after I Want to Be Your Lover and Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad, a ballad just made sense. That's just how it works. They want an artist to release a smattering of singles from the album that are cross-representative to give a more of a wide-reaching audience, maybe, to enjoy the music that's found on the album. And so a fan of Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad might not have been interested in Still Waiting, and vice versa. As it turns out, really nobody was interested in Still Waiting, but that doesn't make it a bad song. Lack of commercial success is irrelevant. So Still Waiting is a great song. Really enjoy it. Hopefully you guys do too. So that brings me to the end of the episode. Thanks for listening. And again, I will let you know where you can find me on social media if you care to. My blog, pressrewind.net, is out there. Reach me through that blog if you want. My podcast has a blog as well. I usually have links to my podcast blog in my social media profile. So I have a Facebook, Press Rewind Facebook page. I have a Press Rewind Instagram page. I'm on Twitter. Yeah, get a hold of me if you'd like. I'd love to hear from you. So thanks again to everyone for listening to episode 16, Still Waiting. Until next time, thanks a lot. Bye.